Good morning, everybody. It is Monday, October 26th. Holy crap, it's almost November. That means it's almost the end of the year and looking forward to 2021. I don't know, sometimes as bad as 2021 has been for some people, are we really looking forward to 2021? Because it could always be worse. All the more reason to pray. So we are finishing up the praying God's will for your life. And so this week we're going to do just kind of a little review and reading the intro of our new book, The Prayer That Changes Everything. And then we'll start next Monday, November 2nd, on chapter 1 of The Prayer That Changes Everything. So what I wanted to do today is to just talk a little bit about maybe some things that have changed in our lives over these last several months of reading, or even during this book, or whatever the case is, or, if we feel like we need to go back and, pick up things maybe that we didn't pay attention to before, or whatever the case is. So, favorite book, favorites about what we've done so far over these last several months, since April, right? Something like that. Have you had a favorite book, Michelle, or a favorite moment? And why?
Such a deep question there, Linda.
Right?
Man, I think overall with all of these books that we've done by Stormy, it's been really great that they're such kind of short chapters to wrap your mind around and to spend time on every day, because it's really gotten me back into that daily habit of spending time in prayer and reading, and so that's been really good for me. And then our discussion about it has been awesome. I think out of the books we've done recently, the Just Enough Light for the Step I'm On, I really enjoyed that one.
Oh, yeah.
Also good. Yeah. But I think that one is just, it reminded me a lot. It was like every day was either like a little gut punch or just a sweet little reminder that there's stuff that I need to work on, but it's all in God's timing.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I don't want to get overwhelmed, and sometimes I know that can happen. I like that daily habits. I didn't think about that, but you're right. I mean, we've been doing this for, I don't know, April, May time frame. I keep thinking it was like the end of April when we started, but that April time frame. So that's, at least all of May, June, July, August, September, October. That's 6 months at least that we've been doing this, and every day. And while there are certainly days when I feel like, I'm in the flow, like this morning, I'm cleaning, I've got so much done, I've got organizing done, all of these things, and I'm in the flow, and it's like, I gotta stop. And I'm like, why am I acting like that? It brings such joy to my day. It, for sometimes I'm in that mode where I just need to check boxes. It checks off a box, because it's something I do every day. And then for a moment, it brought me back to something I read this morning in one of my other books during my reading time. And it was talking about when rituals become, I can't remember the word they use, but kind of like self-defeating when they become harmful to us. Because I think sometimes at least in the therapeutic world, when we say rituals, we think of like OCD type stuff. And in a way, it sort of is, because rituals are also habits. A habit is a ritual. But when you lose awareness of what you're doing, that's a habit, right? And when a ritual becomes self-fulfilling, in other words, I'm doing it for the purpose of doing it. Like, let's say I had an OCD tendency to make sure the kitchen was cleaned every night before I go to bed. And I'm doing that because I can't rest, I can't sleep, right? That's not a ritual anymore. That's an obsession or a compulsion, right? And so that really made sense. It's like, no, rituals need to stay in their lane. And a ritual is something that we do because of the power of doing it. And then that brought me back to Stormy's, that word is in so many of her titles, the power of, or this and that, or she uses it in the intros and this and that. It's like, look at the power of prayer. And so I think for me, one of my favorite books was The Power of a Praying Wife, which might have been the first book we started out with. I can't remember, because it really transformed my relationship. And I still keep coming back to the rituals that I established during that book. And one of those was, one of those was to every day is, to remind myself to, even when my husband is sleeping, when I get up and start my day, is to go over and hug him and kiss him while he's sleeping, and not do it to check off a box, but to do it and to feel that love that I'm almost sending from myself to him. And I'm also pulling from him into me. And it totally changes his morning. He is such an energy and emotional person. And so as I was doing that this morning, I noticed he got up several hours later and he came over to my yoga room and he opened up the door, and he's in a loving mood, but when I don't do that, he's in this horrible mood. So that's one of the rituals that I kept up. And then one of those other ones that involves him is he always, every day, all the time, he will ask me, honey, can I do anything for you? Honey, can I do anything for you? Even if he doesn't want to do it, and that's just his giving personality. And he doesn't always do it, but that's not the point. The point is that he has that open heart and that drive to do things. It just kind of gets conflicted after that. And that reminder to myself happened this morning of, you know what, I really need to keep saying yes to him. Yes, you can do something. But an independent person, it's hard for me to figure out, okay, what do I need him to do without getting in my way? And so this morning, he says, honey, can I help you move anything? Can I help you do this? I'm like, no, go. He's got a doctor's appointment, this and that. And finally I was like, coming back. So I took him the 12-pack roll of new toilet paper tissue that we got delivered the other day. And the freaking dog pissed on it. I had this Rottweiler that's like a cat, and he's got to mark everything new in the house that he doesn't know and understand why it's there. And I walk over to it. I was like, oh, I was like, nope, this is it. And so I take it to him and I says, yes, you can do this. I said, so when you get free, you take care of the pee on this, open it up, make sure there's, throw out any bad toilet paper rolls. And here I am thinking, if he had brought that to me, I'd freaking kicked it back at him, right? No, I'm not cleaning up the dog piss and that. But him, he loves his dog so much. He smiled so big, and he was like, oh, did Bosco pee? I'm like, yeah. But that's what I did. That's just his giving, his loving and receiving type things. He wants to be helpful and to all of that. So I think for me, that was one of my favorite books. And it just reminded me to every day do those rituals every day with intention and gratitude. All right. What would you like to see different moving forward, Michelle, as far as like your prayer journey, or this call, or the books, or whatever the case is?
I think I'd like to continue building my consistency of my own daily, like, alone prayer time, because I feel like I do that more paired with this, but still not every day. Sometimes I only have time to do like the reading and reflection on the book that we're on. So I'd like to improve on that, be more consistent.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then just with my lifestyle, I think like truly leaning in and asking God for what I need, which I feel like I've learned a lot, especially from you and Jack through all this prayer time. but speaking that out more often and more detailed, I guess, because it is really helpful. Like, for example, when I've been praying recently and asking for energy and strength to take care of the extra patients that I am doing right now, that has been really helpful because I literally have not, like, I can't do that on my own. And so that's been what has been carrying me through like my really long patient care days.
Yeah, it's good. Even sometimes having that break in between and praying or meditating and re-energizing yourself can help. I know it helps me sometimes. Yeah. Um, Stormy's one of the last chapters in the book that we just finished, the Praying God's Will for Your Life, chapter 20, whatever that says. I can't see, 21. Praying to be able to walk in faith. That was Sunday's lesson, and I haven't read that yet. I'm going to read it today later, but I know that's one area that I've been trying to be a lot more intentional about in my everyday life is am I walking in faith with faith, and that obviously I have faith that God is present in my life and this and that, but do I have faith in myself that I can walk in faith? And I think that's most challenging for me with the exposure to social media and people's thoughts and comments, with my reflective thoughts and comments and things like that, and trying to remind myself, okay, let everything come from a place of love and compassion and all of that. And it's been quite challenging. The more focus that I've put on that these last few days. And when I opened up and I saw this chapter, I was like, that's it. It's like, I want devote more prayer to myself in being able to walk in faith with my faith. If I truly believe that things come from love and compassion, then why is it so hard to walk that way?
Right. Yeah, that was a really, really good chapter. And as you were talking and I was flipping through here, reminded of what really struck me in that is Stormy's talking about in here how faith is our daily decision to trust God. And so in thinking about it that way, this is on page 169 if you want to look at it, right in that paragraph, without a doubt. And it reminded me of, like, with love and in your relationship with a significant other, spouse, whatever it may be, you're choosing to love them every day. There's going to be times where you might not like them very much during the day, but you're making that decision of love. And so thinking about faith in that way too, our daily decision to trust God. And she also says in here that faith is first a decision, then an exercise in obedience, and then a gift from God as it is multiplied.
Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love that. Faith, it's a daily decision. It really is. Just like anything else, it's an ongoing decision.
Mm-hmm.
And when we stop making decisions, we fall into habits, and then those habits then turn into obsessions and compulsions. And because we start performing those habits for ourselves, the book I was reading talked about, the morning cup of coffee, that it may not necessarily be anything wrong with having that morning cup of coffee, even if you're addicted to it, but what are you doing with it? Is it just, I'm going to go pour the cup of coffee because I need coffee for caffeine, or do I actually take in the moment? Do I enjoy the flavor and the aroma, and I getting the experience out of it, because that's meditative in itself.
That's a good point. Now you're going to make me think differently about my coffee today.
There you go. All right. All righty. I actually talk a little bit about that when I teach on self-care, because so many of the things that we do just in our regular daily habits, like taking a shower, we perform them either just this quick rush ritual, not even a ritual. It's this habit or this task of, okay, I got to go take a shower. I got to clean. I got to get done. And while I'm in there, I'm thinking about, okay, I need to grocery shop and I need to do this and blah, blah, blah. Or I'm mad at my husband, all these things. But why not use it for self-care, where you smell the soap, feel the soap, whatever the case is really put your heart and soul into what you're doing and enjoy it. And then that comes along with gratitude. All righty. Well, let's say some prayers. Always love this prayer time. All right. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you so much for allowing us to come together to pray and worship in your name, to talk and discuss and to get different perspectives and ideas and opinions and just all the things to expand, our thinking, expand our hearts and our minds, and to create that space for love and compassion and kindness to grow. So I'm so appreciative of this time, and appreciative of Michelle and her willingness to show up and put up with my crazy schedule all the time. Want to pray for my kids today as they go about their happy Monday, and just helping them have peace and comfort and reminding them to pray. Help me remind them to pray. Want to pray for my husband today as he goes about his morning and just his life, and helping him find some or discover some purpose and desire and motivation to do the things that he loves, help him find some structure. I want to pray for Jack and Melissa and the boys and Brian as they spend their week together and just enjoying one another, and just having so much fun, and requesting some healing for Jack and her family for the loss of her grandmother, and just helping them to feel at peace knowing that she's in your hands now and watching over them as opposed to them watching over her. I want to pray for Tracy and Louise as we carry on our yoga journey. And while it is so taxing and overwhelming, it's also such a source of great comfort and love and connection, and just deepening our relationship with ourselves as well as with you and our practice. All right, Michelle.
Good morning, Lord. I want to thank you, as always, for another day that we get to be alive and breathing and joining in together in community with you. This is such a wonderful start to my day and my week, so I thank you for this opportunity. And I want to continue my prayers for myself and my energy and strength throughout this week, that I can carry on and care for my patients that I'm taking care of right now. And with that too, God, I want to thank you for blessing me with so many new patients that are coming into my life right now. I know it's a busy season, but I'm welcoming them because I know that you are bringing them to me. So thank you for that. And I simply ask for guidance, that you will tell me what the next step is in all of that, with my career and my patient care, that you just lead me and show me the way in that, Lord. I also want to continue my prayers for myself and my relationship with Sean, as you continue to better our communication and just bring us so many moments of joy throughout our days. I thank you for those little moments and little opportunities that we get to grow together, and grow closer to you. I want to pray for all of our Mind Body Soldier tribe, all of these incredible women. We have so many different directions and things going on in our lives right now, but they're such good things, and we're learning and growing and pursuing our passions and pursuing our goals that you have for us, God. So I just ask that you keep us safe and healthy and determined and passionate during all of this, that you will continue guiding us and shedding that light we need for each step that we're on. We bring all this to you in your name, Lord. Amen.
Amen. Awesome. Join us every day, and we are getting ready to start, well, at least the introduction, the prayer that changes everything by Stormy Omartian. There we go. Omartian. And I can't wait. It looks like an awesome book. All right. And Hold up. We're not out yet because my left hand doesn't work as well as the right. Now we're out.